Okay, so here we go. This is going to be day 2 at Moultrie Swap. I'm going to try to do video all day. Sorry about yesterday. I was moving a little bit too fast to get into the whole video thing, but we're going to make something happen today and see some cool stuff. So check it out.
$2 each.
Oh, look at that. Wow. That's a big sign.
Mine and my son.
I never had seen this sign before. That's a big one. That's a big one.
Is it what?
That was a big one. Big sign.
I don't know. I ain't never seen one that big and okay before.
No, me neither.
The biggest one I've ever seen.
There, 1932 Studebaker, President St. Regis Brom. Get it.
Huh?
Get it. Get it.
Get it. Yeah, just the center one's got the metal.
Oh, yeah. You know what used to go in the center? Machinist book.
Oh, book.
Yeah, reference. Let me get this thing right here.
The real deal.
It's the real deal.
Some granite B block.
Oh, well. Yeah. It's nice, John. Oh, yes, you do.
Huh? Oh my God, I didn't got anywhere to put it.
You make space for things like this.
Yeah.
So I finally made it back. I've got all my loot here out on the bench. Got a couple of stories that go along with it. First off, I would say the coolest thing that happened was I was going down the aisles. This was like right when I got there, and I saw a guy that had some of these glass lenses. You notice they're kind of, you know, prismatic. You know, they've got the edges, and I knew what they were. I knew what they were for. These are typical with the railroad signal lamps that used to run on kerosene or oil. I forget what they used to run on. You had a red, you had like this bluish green one, and I'm pretty sure there would be like two amber ones, which I guess would be caution. I'm not for sure. I'm not really a railroad guy, but I like the lamps. But anyway, these were on the ground, and they were marked at $5 a piece, and I saw a stack of them on the ground, and I thought, you know, I've always wanted a signal lamp, and I ought to get these lenses, because then when I get a signal lamp, it doesn't matter if there's one broken or whatever, I've got my lenses, right? But then the rational side of me said, hey, you know what, it's crazy to think that you're going to buy a signal lamp and it's going to be missing all of the lenses. So you're going to be stuck with them and not have any use for them, right? So I didn't buy them then. I went 2 aisles over, and I was rolling through this stuff, and these people were unloading their trailer, just setting up their booth for day one. And I'll be dang if a railroad lamp was in their booth. They had just unloaded it. I picked it up and I said, hey, what do you want for that thing? Just tell me what you want. And he threw out $20, and I said sold. So here it is right before you, a railroad signal lamp, and missing every lens. So I went back 2 aisles over, and I bought the lenses for $5 a piece. So I've got $40 in on the signal lamp right now, and all I've got to do is come up with either the rings that used to hold these into position, or I'll make the rings that will hold these individual lamps into position, and we'll call it good. And I'll have a signal lamp. I'm going to electrify it for the shop. It is missing the top. I'm going to have to, I'm going to try to copy what this top looks like, and maybe I can find a picture and tie it to this video and let you know what I'm going to have to do, but I don't think that's really going to be a big deal. So $40 in on this lamp, and retail wise, like in an antique type market, you're looking at like $350, $400 if you're lucky. But I'm going to keep this because I've always wanted to have one, and I've been too cheap to buy one. So I found a little thermometer, pretty neat little thermometer. I tried to buy this particular thermometer, well, not this one, but one just like it, at an auction about 6 months ago, and anyway got outbidded, and anyway, but I picked this up cheap. I thought it was a deal. If I remember right, I paid like paid $30 for this thermometer. It's the real deal, probably 1950s. Next thing up, my bathroom doesn't have a men's and women's or ladies sign on it, and it always has needed it. So I found this one. This is a cast sign that would have, you know, got bolted up against the bathroom door. I don't know, this could be repop. I'm really not for sure. I don't think it's that old, to be honest with you, but I'm going to try to finish this off and make it look old, and adorn it on the front door of my bathroom. And then I was still thinking about the bathroom, and I found this. This is a new old stock men's restroom sign, of course. I don't know what this would have been from. If this would have been, I'm not familiar. A lot of times the stations used to have, you know, particular colors. Shell, of course, you know, yellow and red, and some of the other ones had. So this may not be associated with a particular gas station. This might be just the run-of-the-mill generic bathroom identifier, but $10 in the box, new old stock. I had to go ahead and get it too. So I've got one that will shoot out from the wall, and I got one that's going to go on the door. So I'd say I got it covered. I got it covered. It's pretty nice. Pretty nice. I'd say it's probably 1960s. I don't know. 70s, maybe. I don't know. I bought this little first aid kit, and I don't think it's a repop. I think it's a real deal. Johnson & Johnson's got the name on it. Boy Scouts of America first aid kit. The guy had several of them. It's got a Johnson & Johnson inventory listing of contents for the Boy Scout first aid kit. Now this is the really neat. Again, this is another first aid kit. I don't really have a crazy thing about first aid kits, and I don't know why these all came to me during the event, but extremely heavy duty steel box, a lot of detail. First aid kit bell system. And a couple of videos back I was talking about some garage sale tools that were stamped bell system. Evidently the Bell system, you know, the former, you know, major telephone company, they used to put their name on everything. This would have been one of the first aid kits that probably would have been equipped to, the linemen would have had things like this in their truck. Got a couple of tools. I needed, you know, something like a hose puller deal, you know, like you'd reach down and help yourself get a radiator hose, a lower hose to remove it. Needed one of those. These are typical. This is to cut the sharp edge off of like steel, you know, flat steel, sheet steel. When you're doing some fabrication, you're cutting some new pieces and whatnot, you just kind of run this around the edge and it cleans it off. And then I got this little mini 1/4 inch ratchet. One way is forward, one way is reverse, just depends on which way you press the dealio in the middle. I just got it because it's so extremely small, and this is gear driven. This is my first gear ratchet, so I'm completely amazed with the lack of clicking. It's kind of like a fidget spinner. I just can't control myself. But I thought it would be neat for that one time when it's so cramped that I just need something super duper small, whatever. And anyway, I bought it. I think it was like $5. It was pretty much an impulse buy. But I have been known to be impulsive on occasion. For the Model A, I got some parts. I got some replacement latch mechanisms for my doors. That's going to be a part of one of my build videos. I'm going to get them swapped out. The current ones that I've got, I don't know if I've complained about it yet on video, but they're just played out. The holes, the pivot points, they're all wallered out, and I could rebuild them and reuse them, I'm sure. But you know, for the amount of money that these set me back, I don't think it's worth it. I'm going to put these in and move on. So, and then I also ran into a fellow that was selling some really nice refreshed original parts. He had rebuilt these. These are some Model A 2829 Model A door handles for the this would be the passenger side. You notice that there is a lock. The tumbler is here on the passenger side, whereas the driver's side had no lock or tumbler. It was considered a safety feature that people would basically slide across to get themselves out, and they wouldn't be letting themselves out on the street side. Pristine condition, no dents in the handle itself, re-chromed, rebuilt, ready to go, plug into the car and go. My other hardware I bought from Smith & Jones, and I wish I had more information for you right now, but Smith & Jones, they were priced very well across the board for Model A parts, and they were carrying the same items that Midwest Early Ford was carrying and Battlefield Ford, I think, was carrying, and they were like $4 or $5 cheaper typically per item, you know. So they were pretty price friendly. So check them out. I picked up some sanding abrasives and picked up a couple of t-shirts, SoCal and Moon, from some folks there. Let me see. They're called Affordable Street Rods. Quality products at an affordable price. Anyway, they had some really cool t-shirts, and pretty good people. They've got some nice shirts. So anyway, if you see them, tell them Boxcar said hey. And then last but not least, got the Sawzall replacement unit. You remember a couple of videos back, I had to do a hillbilly modification for my old DeWalt that had bit the dust, and it had fallen apart many years ago, and I'd glued it back together, and then it fell apart again. I glued it back together and finally got to a point to where I just couldn't glue it back together. So had a job to do, and my buddy was here, and he basically had to hold a trigger that had broken and detached from the rest of the item, and I held the base, or the front part of it, and cut while he was back here with a wire pigtail squeezing the trigger. Definitely was not an OSHA approved operation. We got the job done, and actually it being broke allowed me to get up into a spot that I never would have got in before had it not been broke. So actually it was the right tool for the right job, and you know, but it was dangerous. So I threw it away because I didn't trust myself. I figured I would keep on using it, so I just had to get rid of it. But here is a replacement. It's a Milwaukee. It's a 12 amp. It's got a cord, so I don't got to worry about the batteries doing me dirty in about 5 years or whatever. Very happy to have it. Got a heck of a deal on it. 65 bucks. Brand new. No warranty, not in the box, no instructions. So, as it is. There you go. Thanks for being here. Thanks for watching the video. And appreciate your subscribership. Share if you can. Point others this direction, and we'll make some stuff happen. So, take it easy and appreciate you. I want it. I want it. I must have it.